This is Hidden Killers with Tony Bruschi.
You don't often get a true crime story that involves a 62-year-old man. There's so many elements to this one. A $1 hot dog and a nudist ranch. What do all three of those things have in common? They're all in our next story. I don't know how you came across this one, Carol, but
crazy one.
Yeah, 62-year-old man has been charged with 2 counts of murder after allegedly beating his neighbors to death and dismembering their bodies. An act prosecutors say was sparked by a perceived insult involving a hot dog. Michael Royce Sparks is accused of killing Daniel and Stephanie Menard, a longtime couple who lived near him at Olive Dell Nudist Ranch in Redlands.
That is so not me. I would not be careful at all good walking around naked all day.
That would be... It wouldn't work. I get self-conscious around my pets.
Right. It's like you guys are judging me.
I know. It's like, you shouldn't see this. Like, we're friends. Like, this is weird, but yeah. The San Bernardino County District Attorney's Office announced the charges Tuesday, which also include 2 special circumstance allegations for committing multiple murders. Sparks' arraignment is set for Wednesday. According to Detective Thomas Williams, Sparks confided to a fellow inmate that his deadly outburst began when Daniel Menard brought him a hot dog. Sparks reportedly believed the $1 snack was a slight against his worth, telling the inmate he felt it was a jab at him. He said that's what set him off, the $1 hot dog. Williams testified during a Monday hearing. Sparks then allegedly went outside and struck Daniel in the head until his head caved in. When Stephanie Menard ran out screaming, Sparks reportedly attacked both victims with a rake, hoe, and hammer. According to the detective's account of Sparks' jailhouse confession, the Menards were reportedly missing on Sunday, August 25th, after failing to show up for church. Their neighbor, Irene Inkerf, said the couple had lived at their property for decades and were last seen around 10 a.m. the day before. When investigators arrived, they found the Menards' vehicle down the road, saving big money at the same time.
I see what you did there.
Save big money at Menards. Okay, I had to do it. Unlocked keys inside and both their cell phones and Miss Menard's purse left behind in the home. Their dog, Cuddles, remains missing. At first, authorities treated the case as a missing persons investigation. Over the next 4 days, police and volunteers scoured the rugged terrain surrounding the nudist community. This feels like we're playing Mad Libs. But the case took a grim turn on August 29th when a former co-worker and a relative in Minnesota reported receiving alarming texts from Sparks. Gail Heideberg, a dispatcher at a diesel repair shop where Sparks once worked as a truck driver, testified that she reached out after seeing news coverage. She texted, "I'm watching the news. Something going on where you live. Are you in town?" Sparks replied, "It's me. Committing suicide today. Take care. Bye." Do you think it was more of a bye or a bye?
I think it was just bye.
"It's me, committing suicide today. Take care. Bye." When she pressed him for clarification, Sparks responded chillingly, "Chopped up my neighbors. Didn't know I had it in me. Snapped," in all caps.
How would you feel? Honest to God, if I got that exchange,
I think it was a joke.
I would be alarmed. But then I would be like, "What are you talking about?"
I'd be like, did you watch a movie or something?
Are you messing with me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then it's like, oh shit, they actually did. "Chopped up my neighbors, period. Didn't know I had it in me, period. In all caps, snapped." No emojis. I would think, chopping up your neighbors you might get an emoji for that. You can even make your own emojis now.
They don't do as many emojis.
That's true. Yeah. I forgot that they're 62. Redlands police quickly zeroed in on Sparks' trailer at Space 43. Detective Laurel Shearer testified that a foul odor was already emanating from the property. Officials tried to contact Sparks, who refused to come out. Redlands police ultimately used a tractor to dismantle the trailer. Inside, officers found Sparks hiding in a bunker with a long rifle. He attempted to take his own life, but the gun jammed. When asked where the Menards were and if they needed help, Sparks allegedly replied, "They're underneath the trailer. They don't need help," before adding, "They're in pieces." Jesus. This is horrible. Authorities later confirmed they discovered human remains and additional evidence tied to the crime, but the coroner is still working to officially identify the bodies. During Tuesday's press conference, Redlands Police Chief Rachel Tobler emphasized the collaborative effort between law enforcement and the community in locating the missing couple and bringing the case forward. District Attorney Jason Anderson said his office is confident in pursuing the charges, stating, "You don't get a free murder. We believe Mr. Sparks is responsible for both. If convicted on all charges, including the special circumstances, Sparks could face life in prison without the possibility of parole." I would imagine admitting to chopping people up and putting them under your trailer would probably get you that.
Don't you think it's weird that the DA said you don't get a free murder? I'm like,
what does that even mean?
Does that go without saying? Like, you don't prosecute all of them, or is this a question in the community?
Is it a you don't get a free murder, or is it a you don't get a free murder?
Or did somebody recently get a free one, or is there some questions about it? The whole thing is just so horrific. And I was reading about that there was already tension between them, obviously. So I don't know where this hot dog came from or why the guy was like,
why was he bringing him a snack to begin with, I guess.
I don't know what that was all about. And the other thing I find disturbing is that this had to have been really brutal. And didn't anybody hear it? Seems like there would have been a lot of screaming and yelling. And
well, I mean, if he,
maybe it's kind of maybe it's more isolated.
It sounds like he knocked him out with that thing right away. So there probably wasn't a lot of screaming.
Came out and would have witnessed it going on. You think if the husband wasn't yelling, she would have been. Maybe
just a few screams, though. I mean, this guy seemed to pretty much get right to it. And if you just hear a quick scream, you go out like, what was that? And it's not nothing anymore. Oh, everything must be fine.
And maybe it happened.
Or they're dead.
Yeah, I just can't imagine that going down in my like with one of my neighbors, and I didn't know anything about it.
I don't know. I mean, I certainly I don't live in Sunnyvale Trailer Park, but I don't put anything past anybody anymore, no matter what neighborhood you're in, no matter what income level you're in, no matter what demographic you're in. I don't put anything past anybody anymore. Nothing would surprise me. There's so much horrible, horrible things that happen to, this is a horrible thing. There's so many other ones. There's some weird shit in my own neighborhood. That is just...
Do you want to share?
Yeah, yeah, I will. I'm not going to say any names or anything, but there was a family where there was a divorce that was going down, and there was one of the kids, I want to say 14, 15-ish years old, somewhere around there. And the mom who moved out, her best friend, who had been like a family friend forever, and she was some sort of professional here in town. I forgot what it was, but it was like a decent position, well respected, everything. The friend was molesting the boy.
No.
But the boy is like 14, 15, and he's not seeing it necessarily as what it is. But
because he doesn't see himself as a kid, but he is a kid.
Yeah, exactly.
He thinks he's all grown up.
Just the chaos of that. To run that through your mind, that this woman that you trusted is doing this with your son? I mean, this woman like was married, had several, and this woman does not live in my neighborhood. It's a friend of the former resident. And it was just like, you're in like your, I don't know, like late 30s, 40s, something like that. And it's like a 15-year-old, like what the fuck is going through your, and she had kids, and she was married, and she had kids that were similar in age.
See, I hope she goes to jail for quite a while.
I know. It's just so like, again, none of these people, it doesn't, the craziness doesn't know income. It doesn't know race. It doesn't know it doesn't know any of it. It's just like, there's craziness everywhere. These were professional type folks. It's the last thing you'd ever expect to see out of them. It wasn't the Sunnyvale trailer park. But it's everywhere. I mean, there's just these horrible people.
And it shouldn't happen in the Sunnyvale trailer.
It shouldn't happen
park.
anywhere.
You know, it's like, and to me, like, had he just shut up with the person he was texting with,
yeah,
I don't think they'd have ever gone looking for him. Maybe the smell would have eventually caused some alarms. But it seems to me like if he got away with it to that extent, you could have disposed of them and no one would have ever found.
Yeah, well, I think I think Sparks would have killed himself, though, even with the gun jammed, but they got to him. I think if he had a little more time, I think he would have ended it. And then you'd find him dead, and you'd find the two people underneath the thing, and you're going to have to assume it's a suicide, maybe, or is there something else at play here? Were all these people killed?
What I read, there was just a long-standing dislike.
No, I'm saying there would have been a question if the suicide would have taken place as, was this a suicide or was he murdered just like the people underneath the house that they'd eventually found?
Oh, yeah.
Or is this, is this something bigger when it's really him that committed it? I don't know. I mean, it's probably a good thing the gun jammed so that they could get some answer to this. I think that's some kind of weird divine
intervention.
Yeah.
Maybe the Menards in the afterlife had something to do with that because that guy should be held accountable for that.
I wonder if they're related to the Menards family that has the stores.
If so, that's sad because now they're living in a nudist trailer park. And the rest of the other Menards aren't living in trailer parks.
Yeah, well, it's a nudist trailer park, right? So maybe it's just what they wanted to do. Maybe it was a whole, okay, we got the family money and we're going to go. I have no idea. I highly doubt they're part of that family. But yeah, that's quite a story.
It's so sad and senseless. It's just, as are most of the stories that you and I talk about. It's like, just leave them alone. Just ignore them.
Yeah.
And sometimes people won't let you. I've watched Fear Thy Neighbor on ID.
Yeah.
A lot of times, people try and the other person just keeps aggravating it. They might have been in a situation like that with this guy.
Yeah. Where it just
no matter what they did. Maybe the $1 hot dog was a peace offering. It's like, hey, we've got hot dogs. And
it might have been like that. It's a weird thing to get offended by. There's nothing I would think of my self-worth if a friend gave me a hot dog.
And it's not like a filet or something. Yeah. Like, I deserve so much more.
That's a weird thing to think. Food. Yeah. That's like, oh, you're having a grill out? Here's a oh, thank you. I mean, that's what I would think. Like, are you grilling out or like, what's going?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be like, that fucker, that $1 hot dog is not. I wonder if drugs were also involved. That's the other question.
He told the cellmate that.
Yeah. Not a bright individual on this side of the park.
Craving non-stop true crime updates? Press subscribe now and get the latest cases, analysis, and expert commentary delivered straight to your feed. Only from the Hidden Killers podcast and True Crime Today.